I loved the business. So found a closed restaurant, and that's how I got started.
And it was called Andy's?
It's called Andy's. Yeah, it was named after my at the time, 18-month-old son. And it was a closed store in a little mall in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And it was really kind of tough to get in because I had been fired and I didn't really have any money. And so the landlord didn't want to give me a lease. He said, you got to have somebody co-sign with you. And my father-in-law stepped up and became my co-signer. Well, then I had to get creative on how am I going to pay these people for the equipment, you know? And so I got creative, found the people that own the equipment, asked them to in-house finance me, told them I was going to give them a premium for it, like $32,000, but the catch was I couldn't make my first payment for 45 days. And that's how I started. You know, I had a food distributorship that was kind enough to give me credit right out of the gate. Didn't ask me to pay for my initial order of food.
Gave me a backup plan though, didn't you?
I had no backup plan. I mean, it was, yeah, you know, and that's a funny one because oftentimes you'll hear people say, you know, make a business plan and kind of make sure you've got everything lined up. And if I had made a business plan and listed pros and cons,
you wouldn't have done it.
And nobody logically would have done that. Exactly. Nobody in their right mind would have done that. So, well, it actually started in 1992. I was riding home one night, wondering why I was $35,000 behind on my food bills, complaining about my sore feet, complaining about not seeing my wife, my kid, and all that. And a voice in my head said, it's not about you. And I started to argue with it.
It was in your book.
Yeah, I started to argue with it. I said, what do you mean it's not about me? I'm working all the time. Yes. I can't work any harder. I can't work any more hours. And no, it's not about you. What have you done for others? And so I changed my tune and made it a company about making other people successful, really trying to meet their needs before my own even got met. And when I did that, within 6 months, we had made up that $35,000 deficit, and we were in the black and heading forward. And since then, I've made it real clear in the corporate stores and in our company that if you work hard and buy in and run the numbers and have same-store sales increases and are passionate about our love your neighbor philosophy and passionate about taking others and helping them become successful, that we'll sell you the restaurant. We'll in-house finance you and help you get going. And like I said, I'm real proud.
Finance in-house.
Yeah, we finance it for them. All of it.
That's fantastic.
We do make them go borrow $5,000.
Right.
And a lot of times that's
just kind of, here, I'm in.
A little bit of skin in the game.
Yeah.
And you know, and for some of them, that's a really difficult thing to do. So it commits them even more. They're already committed, but maybe they have to borrow that from a relative. So they've got to take care of this, and so it commits them. But
you've got how many success stories? 28. How many people?
Over 50 of
over
those.
50.
Yeah. And you know, and it's funny when you first have that conversation with them. Say, hey, look, I know you signed up for a cook position or a wait position, but how would you like to own one? You know, and they kind of sit back, and at first they don't believe you.
Yeah.
But you know, now with our track record and our history of doing that, you know, they soon learn.
So essentially, their franchising fee to buy in, they're buying $5,000.
That's it.
You can't touch that.
That's it.
Shoney's is $375,000.
That's right.
The only reason I know that is because I represent them.
That's right. When we do that in-house, and they grow within the family, well, it gives us a sense of loyalty too that a lot of other franchises and restaurants don't have. You know, these people know that we potentially help them kind of change their family tree. You know, we've had some of these people grow to multi-store owners too. You know, where now they have the ability to go to the bank. They have the ability to open up a store from scratch and not have to go through the process again. And, you know, and I've watched single moms, you know, we've sold them stores and watched them, you know, knowing that maybe they can take care of their child a little bit better now, you know, but also teach their child that, you know what, if you work really hard and you're passionate about something, you can be successful.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying the restaurant industry blues. Everybody's down, but you're opening up stores, and I've never seen a person in your company that wasn't fired up to come to work.
Yeah.
How is that?
Well, it's you know, it's part of the overall culture of the company. You know, we believe in love your neighbor. We believe in teaching every employee that works with us that it's not about them. That same lesson I learned back in 1992.
That's what I took from your book.
Absolutely. And if we can teach them that, whether they do this as a career or not, is irrelevant. Okay, because we're going to grow better adults. We're going to grow better citizens out of their experience and their time with us. And the neat thing is that they buy in. They're like, you know what, you're right. It's not about me. And that was my biggest concern as we grew, is that these area developers in these states that I was bringing on, did they understand that culture? They were all motivated by it, but are they willing to do the work that's necessary in order to make sure it's instilled. You know, we actually shut our stores down once every year and have a rally for all of our people. They're welcome to come. And this year it's actually going to be at Carowinds, and we're going to have a little mini rally, and then they can go play, go have fun. And we're going to pay for their way in, and we're going to pay for their food, their lunch that day, and go have fun. And as a matter of fact, bring some family members that want to come too. You know, let them sit in and see why you go home and you're all excited about a hamburger waitress job or a hamburger cook job. Why? Well, put them in front of us in that rally, and your folks and your brother and sister, they'll start to understand.
I think what you're saying is that you're not in the hamburger business, you're in the people business, you just serve great food.
Yeah, the business of business is people.
Right.
You know, you often get a lot of, if you interview CEOs, 9 out of 10 would say, oh yeah, my most valuable asset is my people. And then you'll read that 30 days later they laid off 300. Okay, you know, because we had to save the business, and sometimes that's necessary. It really is. Okay, but sometimes it's just trying to make stockholders happy. You know, or it's just trying to fatten the bottom line a little bit. I've never believed in that. I do. You know, every wait staff that I meet, every cook that I meet, you know, it's a personal interaction. I care about them, and that's sincere. You know, I may not see them again. They may leave us tomorrow, but it's irrelevant. That moment matters to me. And I think that carries on. They get to understand that, and so the moments that they get at the table matter to them too.
I can't imagine anybody sitting with you 10 minutes not wanting to go to work for you.
Well,
is that a gift? Is that just a gift of yours?
I think I don't know that it's a gift. I think it's a matter of that I truly believe what I say. You know, too many people, I have a firm belief that too many people quit right before they win.
I know.
And I mean, you can see it in the athletic arena, you can see it in the business arena. They're about to win, and they say, you know what, it's too hard, the hours are too long, or whatever the case may be, and they quit. So they never know. You know, and then maybe if they start another one, that quitting gets a little easier. You know, I guess with me, I really didn't have a choice. You know, I had kind of I was kind of all in at that moment.
I love it.
You know, I could have gone and worked for somebody else, probably. I could have, but I was kind of all in. And
what do you think when you're by yourself and looking back? I mean, you've got to be some sense of pride, gratitude. What goes through your head?
I'll tell you what I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of the fact that the people that work with me every day have been with me for a very long time.
Bobby's been with you forever.
Yeah, and that's what I'm proud of. And, you know, I'm proud that my son thinks enough of his old man and thinks enough of what we've created to want to come back and be a part of that. He's highly educated. He's a smart guy. He could go work. Absolutely. And he could probably go places and work and make more money for less work or less hours that he's required to do with us.
I think he's thinking long term.
Well, you know, hopefully. You know, but I also think maybe he's bought in. He's all in too. You know, that he understands that our mission goes beyond, yes, do we want to make money? Absolutely. That's why we're here. Do we want all our franchisees to be financially successful? Absolutely. But he also understands that there's a bigger mission here too. And he wants to take that on and take that challenge on and take it on into the future. So.
Tell me about the 55 challenge. Where did it start?
55 challenge was, a lot of things aren't my idea, but actually having that big burger on the menu. I was eating at a steakhouse one night, and the steakhouses have that. Eat the 72-ounce porterhouse and all the fixings, and you can get it for free. And I've often wanted to try it. Now that I've gotten a little older, my cholesterol's a little high, it's probably not the time, but when I was younger, I always wanted to try it. So as a gimmick, I said, let's do it. Let's do a 50-ounce burger at one time, and then we changed the name and had to make it a 55-ounce burger. Let's do that.
Have you done the challenge yourself?
I have not, because by the time I put that on the menu, it was I was getting a little old, and probably didn't need to be doing it. But we did it as a gimmick, a way to kind of create some excitement in the store and cheer some people on for trying it. And ironically, it's had like a 90% fail rate. You know, people go in, they start off like gangbusters, and it's like a long distance runner. You see them hit a wall. They hit a wall, they start to sweat, and they go, you know, that's it, I'm done. And but
I saw a lot of that in the amateur competition today.
Absolutely, but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun. And then we decided to do the actual event where we would have an eating contest, obviously inspired by Nathan's and some other eating contests. And I said, why not? Let's do one. And a way to create a little of excitement around our brand and whatnot, you know, the businessman side, plus the guy that I am, just flat out fun. You know, it's fun to me to watch these people do what is actually quite amazing.
Once you take it from an in restaurant thing to a competition that drew like the best competitive eaters in the world?
Well, the first one we did was in the Greenville Mall, and we actually used the people that had the highest eating times in the company became our contestants. You had to qualify for it. And that's when we met Gentleman Joe Minchetti, who still is eating in our contest today. Gentleman Joe actually drove from Connecticut to North Carolina, qualified, got back in his car and drove back to Connecticut, then showed up for the main event and won it. Well, once we met Joe, that kind of opened the doors, because Joe's pretty active on social media and whatnot. That kind of opened the doors to some other eaters going, hey, I want to play, I want to get in. And now the level we've taken it to have 11 eaters and somebody from the UK flying across the pond to join the contest, now to have it at the level it is today is just, it's nothing short of amazing. Right. So,
when did you meet Molly?
I'm sorry?
When did you meet Molly?
Met Molly 3 years ago. She contacted us. She saw it online, saw some social media talk about the contest. So I did a little YouTube homework on her and went, wow, she's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So of course we invited her to come, and she jumped in, and now it's been kind of neat. And Molly could go do her talents anywhere. But I promise you, if there were a big contest that even paid a bigger first prize than ours, she'd come to ours. Yeah, Molly's she's become part of the family. You know, she's become a dear friend and part of the family. I mean, I'll post something on Facebook about my kids, and one of the first people to comment will be Molly Schuyler.
Yeah, yeah,
you know, and because she's become a really good friend too. Yeah. So if you're not there to see it, if you don't watch it, you almost can't fathom it. You can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you get these big guys that come into our restaurants, and 9 out of 10 fail. Right. And here's this little diminutive Molly, all 120 pounds of her, literally just putting this away in a minute and a half.
Oh no! Can you have a conversation?
No, she's in the green room eating a honey bun. You know, she's got to have some dessert. I mean, she is.
I'm just amazed.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazed.
But she's so humble. You know, she really is. A lot of competitive eaters, I've noticed they like to kind of backbite each other sometimes, or they try to build up their own brand, if you will.
Right.
That's not Molly.
No,
even after 26 years, I'm just as passionate today as I was in 1991.
Yeah.
So.